The Senate just voted to kill Biden's woke ESG investing rule. And now Biden could issue his first veto. Senate Minority Whip John Thune joins us, Republican from South Dakota. Mr. Senator, why is the ESG rule bad for investors?
Well, Stuart, because you're talking about having investment advisors take $152 million, or $1 billion, I should say, in assets that are invested by hardworking Americans, and have allow them to be able to invest them in their liberal priorities instead of trying to optimize the return. You know, most investment advisors, you want to get the best return for the people that you're trying to help out there. In this case, a lot of these, what this Department of Labor rule would do is allow these investment advisors to invest in ESG priorities. In other words, into industries that, you know, only to those industries that Democrats like, and not to invest in those industries that Democrats dislike, which would be oil and gas, conventional energy, things like that. So this is a very dramatic rule that could impact the savings, the life savings of ordinary Americans.
The principle, surely, Mr. Senator, is that the government should not be telling me where I can invest and where I cannot invest my private money. That's the principle here, isn't it?
That's exactly right. And what's really, you know, this woke capitalism that they've adopted, it permeates every aspect of our economy. But this is really pretty profound, because you are talking about literally now $152 billion of the American people's money that's invested, hoping that they'll get a good return for their retirement. And very well what could happen is, if they decide to invest in all these woke industries, they could very much reduce the rate of return that people would receive, and very likely increase their risk.
It's my call, not the government's. Mr. Senator, I want to talk to you about the student loan handouts. Seems like the Supreme Court is ready to reject the $400 billion giveaway. But what happens in the unlikely event that Biden does get his student loan passed? What happens to the economy, do you think?
I think one for, you know, the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget said it would meaningfully increase inflation, and that's a left of center organization. So for sure you'll have an inflationary impact. You send a message to everybody in this country that borrows money for student loans, you're not going to have to pay it back. And, you know, and you'd have college tuition rates will go up, because no college is going to say, well, gosh, if they're not going to have to pay back their loans, why should we have to worry about, you know, our tuition rates? So I think you're going to see a lot of impacts that would hurt students, people in this country. But maybe most importantly, Stuart, it's the Americans in this country are going to be paying for this. The hardworking taxpayers who didn't get a chance to go to college, or perhaps paid back their loans, are now going to be subsidizing and underwriting this president's $1 trillion giveaway to people in this country if he gets away with forgiving all the student debt. I mean, this is an astounding thing.
Crazy
stuff. It really is.
I'm sure you saw this, but outside the Supreme Court, as the Supremes were looking at the student loan, we had Randy Weingarten in an extraordinary, I call it extraordinary, rant. I'm sure you saw it. What do you think of that? What do you think parents think when they see the head of the teachers union behaving like that?
I think it's an example of just you know, liberalism run amok. I mean, these are people who really believe you grow and expand government, and then you'd bestow benefits on people across our society in hopes that they'll vote for you. I mean, clearly that was the objective with this Biden student loan giveaway. He did it right before the election. It was clearly a political stunt. And so his constituency groups are rallying around it. But again, talk about the hardworking Americans, all those people across the country who are going to be paying for this in the form of adding more to our debt. And then the message it sends. I mean, we're a country that's built around the twin principles of personal freedom coupled with individual responsibility.
Exactly.
The message that you aren't going to have to pay back the money that you borrow, I think, has tremendous shock waves and a ripple effect into the future in our economy.
I hope the times are a-changing. Senator John Thune, thank you very much for being with us, sir. Always appreciate it.
Thanks, Stuart.
Yes,
You
sir.
bet.
Thank you.
Bye now.